Lupusregina Beta is Nazaricks' very own battle-mated version of the Doge meme. Cute but somewhat lacking behind in the brain department. And today we will take a look into her skills, her character, and speculate about who exactly created her. So let's start with her general purpose. As the healer of the Battlemaid group, she is usually deployed in close proximity to the front line, near enough to cast healing magic but not quite close enough for direct involvement. But since her level is rather low, at least compared to max level players, Lupusregina Beta is most likely imbued with a considerable amount of strength, stamina and health, so she may survive an additional hit or two. But since this Battlemaid has a wolfen form, and overall better combat stats than a comparable min-max healer, and furthermore access to the flight and the invisibility spell, she might delay her own death for quite some time. Which again is the main reason for why this Battlemaid formation was created in the first place. But Lupusregina is not only annoying for potential invaders, she also had the dubious honor of being one of only a select few causes that enraged Einzelgaun so much that his natural emotional suppression was overloaded. While being tasked with guarding Karn and its healing/love potion production, she didn't believe it necessary to report about the alliance between the Giant of the West and the Serpent of the East, which says a lot about her character. Contrary to the hardworking attitude and the strict French maid outfit of her direct superior, Yuri Alpha, the considerable more cheerful and carefree Lupusregina Beta combines elements of an outgoing Italian style with a somewhat Nordic design. Furthermore, she wears a hat with tiny dog ears hinting at her true nature. And her Nordic-themed scepter, that also doubles as a bludgeoning weapon, is usually worn behind her upper back, so she quite literally is under a northern star. The fact that she wields this weapon on her back also symbolizes that she hides her true heteromorph self in plain sight. But these references to Nordic mythology also serves to highlight Lupusregina's true physical nature as a werewolf. You see, in Norse mythology there's a being called Fenrir, one of Loki's offspring, a giant wolf leashed to a mountain via a extremely strong chain. And in Book 8, the light novel with the most Lupusregina to date, Neferia, Enri and her goblins also encountered a wolf-like being that wielded a chain as a weapon, before being quite literally ambushed by the hidden Lupusregina shortly after. So similar to how wolves are ambush predators, Lupusregina likes to suddenly appear out of nowhere via her fly and her invisibility spells. And just like her bestial self is hidden behind the facade of a cute and endearing maid, her sadistic character is also masked by her superficial friendliness and her outgoing nature. She also likes to embarrass Enri, for example by implying that she might be a lesbian and into the wolf maid, as well as to make several other suggestions. And speaking about suggestions, Lupusregina offered Enri to teach her all sorts of adult things if she wanted to. And we know that her boyfriend, Neferia, not only made a stamina replenishing potion, he also has to have some reason for still maintaining its healing probabilities. So let's hope that it's just friction burn and that he's into it. And while Lupusregina's loot site is certainly interesting on its own, it may be also a hint of who created her. We know that Lucifer, one of the supreme beings, much like Lupusregina, likes pranks and has a fairly carefree and even careless attitude. We also get more details on Lucifer, who occasionally pranked other guild members and apparently delighted in it during the events in the Women's Bath in the 8 light novel, which again focuses quite heavy on Lupusregina, so perhaps Lucifer created her and imprinted on the Battlemaid. Additionally, in Norse mythology, the Fenris wolf is Loki's firstborn, and considering that Loki is also known as the god of mischief and apparently into furries, Lucifer might be Lupusregina's creator. So this is one of my theories, but on the other hand, her origin might be rooted in the founding myth of the Roman Empire. The twins Romulus and Remus were found and raised by a wolf. And we know of a certain supreme one that created dark elf twins. And they, coincidentally, also have a darker skin tone and both are working in a Roman-style Colosseum, and Lupusregina is literally Latin for Wolf Queen. And we know that heterochromia is seen as a sign of royalty as far as elves are concerned. Additionally, similar to Lupusregina's Latin name, the names Aura Bellafiora and Mare Bellofiora are of modern Italic origin. Also, and this is more of a side note, Lupusregina's karma value is literally Aura's and Mare's value added up. Furthermore, Lupusregina's casual and demeaning attitude towards Shaltir Bloodfallen, the strongest floor guardian. A being so scary that the far more sadistic solution and the leader of the Pleiades, Sebastian, the Butler of Steel, tensed up because of Shaltir's killing intent, seems rather strange for a mere battlemate. But if Lord Peroroncino's older sister truly created Lupusregina, then her attitude towards the Bloody Valkyrie is no surprise but part of the grand design of the supreme beings, and thusly Shaltir will have to put up with it. And while Peroroncino merely enjoyed 18+ games, much to his displeasure, his sister voiced certain characters in them, and this would also explain Lupusregina's somewhat more lewd attitude. And to dive truly into the realms of speculation, we know that the twin elves might visit the two elven kingdoms one day, and since Lupusregina might be akin to a motherly caretaker, perhaps she is sent alongside them. Furthermore, the author Kugane Maruyama tweeted that Zeshi is stronger than Lupusregina Beta, and that this godkin holds the most useful talent in the new world. So Lupusregina might fight Zeshi in an all-out battle, and since this battlemate is a healer, she usually uses her spells to support friends and keep her victims alive for prolonged torture. This might be a hint of Zeshi's secret talent. It would be quite the plot twist if every wound she suffers from Lupusregina is magically healed. At first, Lupusregina might not even notice this, but it would become more and more clear the longer the engagement lasts. Zeshi might be gaining every buff, and every healing effect her enemy is under, and since Lupusregina can't inflict any lasting damage on Zeshi without risking her own death, she might be forced to disengage and report back to Nazarick, which would complete her character arc. And if Zeshi can truly copy every positive effect her enemy is under, it also might help explain why she is able to keep Platinum Dragonlord somewhat at bay. And from speculations about Zeshi, we are now diving a bit deeper into Lupusregina's whole werewolf theme. While Yuri Alpha is so to say the leader of the pack, Lupusregina Beta is subservient to her. And while she's primarily a healer, she still can hold her own against an enraged troll without any effort, going so far as to block a punch with a single arm, burning the troll to ash. Shortly after, Lupusregina's association with fire and her red hair might also hint at the fact that she's not only a werewolf, but may be able to engulf herself in flames. Basically, she's like Arcanine's evil sister, which raises one further question. How do basic werewolves work in Overlord? Well, similar to beings like Sabers, they might suffer from debuffs while in human form and get various buffs in their true gestalt, which again would imply that Lupusregina's physical strength is quite high for a healer. And seeing how Overlord takes its monsters serious, in no other way that they are actual monsters with devastating physical power, as a werewolf I expect Lupusregina to be at least like in Skyrim. Or perhaps she is able to wield her healing scepter in a similar manner to the Great Wolf Seath of Dark Souls. So I expect something rather spectacular. Additionally, lycanthropes are subjects to the moon phases, so once a month during a full moon, Lupusregina gets more sadistic than even Solution. This seems to be a joke, a promise, and a warning, since she might get an additional bonus when fighting during this time. And then there's one last thing, and this is probably just me wearing the extra layer of tinfoil. Lupusregina's entire character can be described with 6 little words. And with this last joke I will leave you. Hope to see you all next time. Over and out.